In the sport of whitewater canoe slalom, which is, a really exciting sport, but it's actually, it's a minority sport as well. It's not one of those big sports that you do at school. I started canoeing in the Scouts, and then I joined my local club, which is where I kind of really got into doing competitions. At first, it was just for fun and messing around with your mates on beautiful sunny days like this. But then I started to get more involved in competition. And I think, some of you here might be able to understand what it was like for me, because around about that time I was kind of 12, 13, 14, in that sort of time, I was kind of looking for something to decide to do, what I was going to do with my life. And I suppose canoeing came along, and it just seemed such a really cool sport, really lots of friendly people. And what I come to see now, looking back upon it, is that my sport was kind of like a framework for me to grow in. And it helped to kind of guide me and to help me to grow into the person that I am now. I've learned so many things about myself, and I've met so many good people, so many inspiring people, learned so many interesting lessons. I've learned about the things, about my strengths and my weaknesses, because they're really important in sports. It's not just the strengths that you need to work on, it's the things that you have problems with that are where you're going to gain some of the best things you need. So for me, my sport really has given me so many things, and it's helped me to grow into this sort of person that I can't hardly imagine. When I started, of course, I wanted to go and win the World Championships and win the Olympics and do all that sort of thing. But then when you realise actually how hard it can be when you're about 20 or something like that, unless you're really awesome, basically you spend a lot of your time just getting beaten and realising how good everyone is at the international level. And even in Great Britain, we've got a very strong squad. It's very hard to get into. And a lot of people, unfortunately, they give up in that time, and they, go on and do other things, which is fine as well. But luckily, and somehow I managed to carry on and stick in there. So now, when I won the Olympics, it was my first Olympic Games. I had to wait almost 20 years. I was 33 when I went to my first Olympic Games, which was London. And somehow I managed to, me and my crewmate Tim, we managed to win the Olympics. We worked so hard in the build-up. We worked so hard and for so long. But really, we weren't really thinking about the medals. So that's one of the things I would wonder if you're going to think a little bit about today, is when you're out there competing, if you're thinking about winning or losing and beating people, that can be quite difficult. It can be quite intense. It can create a lot of anxiety for you, because, when you're trying to win, it basically means everyone else has got to be worse than you and has got to be less good than you. And that means that your happiness, if you think you're going to be happy when you win, that means your happiness is connected to the performances of everyone else, and it's not just about you. So myself and Tim, we developed this idea, one that you've probably been told when you were younger by your parents and people in your clubs or whatever, just go out there and do your best. And this is an idea, it's not about coming out, a lot of people think that doing your best comes out like, awesome every single time, and doing your best is the best. That's not really true. Doing your best means putting everything you have on that day, all the knowledge, all the training, all the practice that you've had, however much that is, whether it's a little bit or a lot, whatever you've got, you put it on the line on that day and try and put it out there. And no matter what you do, if you've done your best, you can learn something from it. And so that is what the attitude that we took into the Olympics. It didn't matter how we did at the Olympics, we were going to learn something very valuable, because we were there to try our best, to put everything that we'd practiced onto that field, and whatever happened, we would come away from it knowing that we would learn some very valuable lessons. So today out here, I really wish you a fantastic day in all your sports. I'm really looking forward to meeting a lot of you. I'm going to have my medal with me. I'm going to show you all the medal. Can have a photo taken. I'm going to have my pen. I can do autographs, all that sort of thing. But I'm hoping just to come out there and see people doing their best, competing with a good attitude, really in a good sportsman-like or sportswoman-like manner, respecting your competitors, respecting the volunteers,